What's one gig?
Did I have to turn down something because I wasn't around? Yes. So when I first started working with Justin Hawkins, so the Darkness broke up first time around, whenever that was. And I'd met, I'll drag the story out a fraction. This sort of jazz funk band I played in, there was a guy, John, who was a fan of the band. And he was a big fan of the band, loved my drumming. And he's like, I'm really good friends with Justin Hawkins. And I've told him that, when he starts his band, give you a phone call. This just shows actually in terms of like getting somewhere, how things work. Here's me playing in a jazz funk band, good jazz funk band with great musicians. And a completely guy that's got nothing to do with music, but claims he's best mates with or good friends, because everyone is friends with a celebrity at some point in their life or claims to be. And you hear that loads, and I just ignore it. And he's like, I've been telling Justin to get you, in his band. I'm like, yeah, sure. Of course, time goes by, don't hear anything. About a year and a bit later, I get a phone call, and someone goes, oh, is that Darby? I'm like, yeah. And it's like, oh, this is Justin. And I'm like, oh, singer Justin. He's like, yeah. And, ended up going to Justin's house the next day. And then he's like, do you want to join my band? And it actually happened. And we had this band, Hot Leg. And I remember day one of rehearsals with Hot Leg. I'm in the studio with them. It's great fun. We're playing rock music. I'm thinking if ever I'm going to make it in as a member of a band, chances are your best case. And this was the reason for turning the other gig down. Best case reason is if you're going to try and make it, you want to do it with a guy that's already sold 5 million records and is popular, being Justin. And we were on a break and my phone rang and it was Gary Moore, the guitarist. Gary Moore from Thin Lizzy and just Gary Moore. And he's like, because I'd played with him a few times, in fact, on and off over like 4 years previous. And I got on with him. He was a nice guy. And he was like, Darby, my drummer that I'm using isn't working out. I love your playing. Do you want to join my band? And I said, I'm in rehearsal. Can I phone you back tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And I thought long and hard about it. And I turned Gary down. Reason being, I just was like, do I continue wanting to be a sideman for other people? Or do I want to have my shot of maybe being in a successful band that I'm, an equal part of? So, I turned Gary Moore down.
That's quite a good. But that's almost worth it for the story. That's just. It is.
But you know what? It was the right thing to do. And maybe if I played with Gary properly rather than a few one-offs in his band and done tours with him, I might have met whoever else and joined their band. But all the things that came off from me saying no to that and playing with Justin Hawkins, including playing in the Darkness and doing, headlining the Isle of Wight Festival with them and a bunch of other really cool things. Another direction of stuff has come off that's got me to where I am today, which I'm happy with where it's gone. Maybe it would have been better if I'd stayed with Gary. Maybe it would have been worse. I don't know. Or sorry, gone with Gary. But yeah, so turned him down. What was the first question?
It was at one point, actually, just based off what you said, actually, because obviously if you were to have gone with Gary Moore, for example, obviously Gary is very much the focus there as well, isn't he? Like in terms
100%, yeah.
Whereas perhaps what you opted for, you're going to have more of an opportunity maybe to shine as a band member, like you were saying, I guess.
Exactly. It wasn't like an egotistical decision, like, yeah, I'm going to be in a big rock band. But I just thought, we've all been in bands growing up that are trying to make it, that have had a little bit of success, no success, whatever. And again, I figured if I'm going to try being in a band that's going to make it and have some success and make some money and play shows, be in a band with a guy that's, fairly has been there, done it, and is successful. There's a lot more chance that your band with Justin Hawkins was going to do well and be successful than, the band from around the corner that are just four guys that love it. So that was my reasoning. And I still stand by that decision, and I'm happy I made that decision because a lot of amazing stuff came out of it, even though that band I was in with Justin only lasted about a year and a half.